As I pan the camera over my most pristine Model S, I want to discuss paint protection. It's probably a highly charged, highly personal thing, whether to get paint protection or not. And it's something I see most new owners wringing their hands about, whether to do it, what kind to get, how much does it cost, etc. Some people tell the service center, don't even detail my car because it's going directly to the body shop to get wrapped. And I want to be clear about it. I have no philosophical stance of what anybody but myself should do. So people who get their car wrapped or don't get it wrapped are, to me, in the same universe of acceptability. This video is just going to go into my own thought processes regarding paint protection and how I feel about it, in case it's of use to anybody who's going through a similar thought process. My personal preference, my aesthetic preference, is for a car that just has paint and the obvious bare minimum clear coat, which is like a wrap, but a lot thinner. And I don't like the looks of obvious plastic wraps on the front of a car, just like I don't like the looks of a nice piece of furniture wrapped in plastic that if you sit on, you'll be sweating and it'll make noises and crinkly. And so aesthetically, I'm against the whole idea of enshrining something or trying to preserve something unnaturally in plastic or some other chemical. Now, it may be that some wraps are imperceptible, that you can't even see the coating. And so I don't know, I'm not an expert on paint protection. This is all just philosophy, my own philosophy. I'm just personally not into the idea of protecting things like that. I'm personally not a person who would get ceramic caps on my teeth or use Botox or dye my hair or, any kind of things, or Photoshop a photograph. All these things are sort of, again, a philosophy of being. And I much rather have scars than not, and don't want to cover up scars, because just like a tree bark that, is gnarled, or a stone that's been worn by a river, that these things or copper that's been weathered to a nice patina. These are all things which have beauty to them. So is it beautiful for a car to have a rock chip? No. But rock chips to me are inevitable, and it's just part of the wear and tear of having a car. Some people pay upward of a few $1,000s to have their car completely wrapped, sort of ward off any kind of damage. That's a rather large expenditure. And my previous red Tesla, which I traded in about 22,000 miles, had 5 or 6 paint chips, and they deducted those from the trade-in value. And when I asked them how much they deducted, it was about $100 they deducted for the paint chips. So obviously a minor corrections, and if I had paid $1,000 or more to have it wrapped and then peel the wrap off at the end and there were no chips, well, I may have saved $100, but I would have spent $1,000 or more. So economically, it also, for me, doesn't make much sense. And I don't like the look of a paint repair kit. It never looks good. But this is more of, again, a philosophical argument that I'm making. And don't get me wrong, I don't have a cavalier attitude about getting rock chips. I do everything possible to avoid getting rock chips. I'm constantly scanning the cars ahead, the trucks ahead, planning whether I'm going to pass or not pass based on the likelihood of somebody kicking up a rock. I dread, construction vehicles with gravel. I dread construction vehicles hauling other construction vehicles on a trailer with mud-encrusted wheels, which, as the trailer vibrates over the road, shakes loose the mud and the rocks and cause this flurry of paint chip inducing debris, rock chip, nightmarish scenario, those things. And it breaks my heart a little bit every time I get a chip. But that's life. And there's irony and humor in all of this. Like, if I had gotten my first red Tesla protected, I probably would have just done the front and the side mirrors and not gotten the whole thing wrapped. And the worst chip I got was driving down a little country road, and a guy was mowing his lawn. He went onto the gravel. The lawnmower threw like a whole fistful of gravel out into the road just as I passed. So it left 2 chips in one of the passenger doors. Again, there was nothing I could have done to avoid that. It was just bad luck, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And again, this is, on the grand scale of things, in terms of being in the wrong place at the wrong time, this is nothing. Getting a chip on the door is nothing. There are fatalities being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's obviously serious, or people getting hurt. But this is just, we're talking about rock chips here. And that puts everything in context as well, which is a whole nother thing, that it's not that important. I think, when you first get the car and everything is perfect or near perfect, and you want everything to be perfect and to stay perfect, and it's just inevitable that you're going to encounter those nicks and bruises as you're going through life with the car. And it's just, I guess, the sooner you get used to it, the happier you'll be. Because with 4 Teslas now, if I were really stressed out about the whole paint protection thing, I couldn't really enjoy them as I do. So at a certain point, you just have to let go and hope for the best, and try to avoid the inevitable, even though it will come, and you just have to deal with it and keep living, right? So in a larger sense, an argument can be made that paint protection and paint chips are a metaphor for life itself, and you're either a paint protector or you're a non-paint protector. And either way, it's whatever makes you happy. If you enjoy these videos and learn anything from them, consider subscribing. Obviously, this is not my core business, and despite my referral link below where you can save money on a Tesla, my main incentive for doing this is just a little creative outlet between all the other creative things I'm involved with during the day. And I'll keep doing them as long as I enjoy doing them, and as long as people enjoy watching them. So thanks for watching.